Hello YouTube. At the weekend I went to a car boot sale and I was really early to get there, and I was quite glad because I was walking along and I saw this blue tub and I saw this in it, and straight away I knew what it was because it's one of the cars on my to get list, and it's one that I've wanted for a really long time but thought I would never be able to afford because it's really expensive. The guy said 20 quid for the whole tub, and even just from the body shell, I would have just bought the tub. But I didn't know what else was in it. I didn't bother looking at the time. I just gave him the £20 and took the blue tub home. So we're having a look through it now. You can see we've got a nice old control box, like really old school. And there's looks like a leaflet, or the front cover of the instruction booklet. So that's quite cool. Can't see, it's not a whole instruction booklet, but it's better than nothing. So I'll unfold that later. And then we've got various bits and bobs, so like chargers. Yeah, really old school chargers. Looks like a little figure in there. There's some stickers. Those are the stickers that they used to use to show what band they were racing under. There's another little charger. You can see like he had the orange band number 72. He got another charger. Loads of chargers. Looks like a lot of these are ones that plug into a car lighter socket. Hey, there he is. There's Willy. I'll probably want to repaint him at some point, but at least he's there intact. I don't know who this figure is. I'll show you him again at the end, and maybe if any of you know what he's from, let me know. If he's from another Tamiya car. Here's a bumper. Couple of odd tyres there. There's a back plate from some other car or something, I don't know. BT's, the old little BT's bottle, that's pretty cool. I'll probably keep that just as a little memento. Don't know what this thing is. Another charger, and oh look, there's a little phone tripod as well. That'll be useful. But yeah, just various bits and bobs. But obviously the car is the main thing for me. That's the important bit. I'm going to need to give it a really good clean up and see what's there and what's missing, and if I need any other bits for it. So this Tamiya car is called Willy's Wheeler, if you didn't already know. It's also called Honda City Turbo. It's a really cool little car, and some of you will know Willy's Jeep, the old Willy's Jeep. That was a great one, and obviously they did a reissue of that. And it's the same with this, Willy's Wheeler, they did a reissue version of it. But this vintage one is always going to be the most sought after one, I think, just down to its rarity. So as a kid, I was mainly into all the trucks. The Lunchbox was the first one that I ever got. I really loved the Monster Beetle, and I've got those two in my collection now. I've also got a Clod Buster and a Bullhead and a Mud Blaster, and also I managed to find at the car boot sale a few years back the old Thunder Dragon, which is really cool. It was painted in white, but actually I really love it in the white. That was another one that I owned as a teenager, and I managed to pick it up for £30. Right, let's have a look at this and see what needs doing. You can see with the body, it's all kind of a little bit scuffed along the edges and things, and it's really grubby and filthy, so I need to give it a good clean up. I'll put that to one side for a second. Let's look at the actual car. You can see all covered in dust and muck and filth, so I'm really looking forward to cleaning that up. A good set of front tyres. You can see a lot of the glue around the edges of the wheels on the tyres, so I'll probably be able to remove a lot of that with some nail varnish remover or something like that. You can see the old humpback battery pack. That's pretty cool. Really old one, that. Again, all loads of dirt in all of the various places you would expect to find dirt. But like I say, I just really love cleaning stuff like this up. It all looks pretty intact. I'm not seeing much in the way of anything missing. There's a rod missing underneath there, but I can replace that at some point. There's a bit of sellotape around the gearbox, which is a bit of a shame, but I'll remove the tape. And I really just want this to look good in my collection. I think I could probably make it run if I wanted to, but I think I just want to have it looking nice with all the other cars. There's a front bumper missing as well. Again, it might be difficult to source, and there's a bit snapped off here. Look, that's for the other front bumper to attach to. Again, I think that might be really difficult to source, but not too bad overall. Looks pretty complete apart from those few little bits. You can see the aerial has seen better days. It's really kind of twisted and it's a really short one, so I've ordered a new aerial tube straight away on eBay. It's only like £2. I do love these little short cars. I mean, another car that I had when I was a kid was the Mardave Mini Stock. I'm sure a lot of you probably had that as well. It was a really cheap car at the time. Not so much now, but again, like a really little short car. So if we're looking on the inside of this one, you can see there are a few cracks in some of the windows, but luckily the main windscreen is intact, and obviously that's the one you're going to see the most. Again, mostly inside there it's all just grubby and it just needs a good clean. On the outside, it's actually pretty good. Like, I like the fact that there's the Hyper Turbo sticker on the back, and on the front windscreen as well. That looks good. The lights on the back are intact, and those are something which quite often will fall off or break. A lot of the stickers have got, you know, kind of scuff marks along the edges and white showing through, so those need to be painted up. On the front you can see the headlights are missing and also the air intakes. The air intakes are something I might be able to actually make at some point, just to add them on, because they do look cool. You can see here I started using cotton wool buds. I really like using those for this kind of project. I get through quite a few, but actually they're really good at getting into all of the little crevices and things. So you can see with this cover removed, the batteries have leaked a bit, well, a lot, and they need to be removed. I'll remove them and give that a good clean inside there, and then I'll put that cover back over the top, because I think everything's looking pretty good in there. All of the wires and everything are quite neatly done. Okay, so try and remember how grubby it looked, and then I'll show you it. Here it is, like all kind of cleaned up. You can see it looks almost, apart from, you know, the few bits that are broken, it looks almost like new. It's really good. I can't believe what good condition it's in, actually. It hasn't got that much in the way of kind of scratches and things. There's my pile of all bits of kitchen paper and cotton wool buds. The body I've started cleaning, but I'm going to keep going a lot on this. You can see these kind of yellow stains and things, like patches that need to be sanded. It's a good tip actually with this sort of thing, especially actually if it's a white body shell. If it's slightly yellowed anyway, just because of age, white plastic tends to yellow. If you sand it like really carefully with really fine sandpaper, you can get it looking really quite white again, and you can also remove quite a lot of the finer scratches, and it just ends up looking a lot newer. So the finest grit sandpaper that I'm going to be using, I think, is this 7000 grit, unless I happen to find any even finer. But I'll probably start with 5000 or maybe even 3000. It takes quite a lot of work just kind of rubbing over all of these areas, but yeah, when you get back to 7000 right at the end, it'll be nice and kind of smooth again. Right, let's show you the results after spending a day on this. I mean, probably was about 6 or 7 hours, I guess, I spent cleaning this. And you can see, I think it's looking pretty good, actually. It looks, like I say, almost like new. You'd have to look closely at it to see that it wasn't, apart from these bits that are broken. And I'll try and source these on eBay if I can. The black bumper just looks like sort of bumper that you might find on Thunder Dragon or something like that, but just a bit kind of shorter, obviously. So I might be able to buy a different bumper and, you know, adapt it. This old BT's bottle and BT's tube really brings back memories. All of the BT shops are always yellow and black. I used to have a massive BT's carrying bag for my old cars, and again that was yellow and black, and it had the big BT's logo on it as well. Right, the bit you've all been waiting for, the body shell. Okay, you can see it's cleaned up really quite well. It's looking pretty white. There's still stuff I could probably do to it. I could probably sand it for another hour or two, but it's looking good enough to go in the cabinet. You can see obviously I still need to replace these headlights, so I'll look out for those, or something that looks identical. If I can find something else that's kind of similar that will work, I'll do it. This front bumper, I think I'm going to clean this up. I might use milliput to make that bit of bar that's missing and sand it all down, and then maybe I might even spray paint it white as well once I've got it all smooth. And this actually goes, you know, on the front. When I first looked at it, I thought, because you can see the hole there, I thought it went up like this in this sort of position. I suppose you could mount it either way. You could have it high up like this if you like the look of that, but I think it's supposed to go downwards after looking at the picture on the front of the instruction book, more like this, and that looks really cool. The bumper's got a very slight curve to it which goes with the curve of the car, so I think it will look amazing once it's done. You can see that I've touched up all of the areas where the white was kind of showing through the stickers and things, where it had scuffed along the edges of the body. But look, it's amazing what difference just a new antenna pipe makes. It's like, looks really cool. The original orange wire I've just curled up in there and put a cable tie on it for now. I wasn't that keen on the orange wire, so I just put a black wire in instead. It looks better with the car. Here you can see the front cover from the instruction book. You can see it's a bit kind of torn on the corners and things like that, but I've flattened it out as best I can, and I've put it in a sleeve, and I'll add this with my collection of other instruction books. It's a cool little car. You can see the picture on the front looks really good as well. And if I just zoom in here and manage to get my camera to focus, you can see there it says 1983. So that confirms that, which is good. If I can source the full instruction book at some point at a reasonable price, I will, because it would be nice to add it to the collection with all my other ones. I've been looking at these on eBay, and for one that's in this sort of condition, you're looking at 350 to 450 quid, which is a good return on my investment of £20. You could also get one that's in really mint condition that's about 550 to 650 pounds. If you want one that's still in its box unbuilt, you're looking at 1,500 pounds. Don't forget to leave a comment if you recognise this driver, especially if it's from a Tamiya car. I'd be really interested to know. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hit subscribe if you want to see any videos that I post up in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.